Well, welcome to another Labcast podcast. Today I have two special guests, the Bondi Boys. We have Max Shallow and Chinkistan, Kazakhstan, both here from The Hague. And I already know you, I think a couple of years now.
Yeah.
I actually did the first podcast with you. You were also in the audience. And since then a lot has happened. I mean, I knew you from Bondi Bikes, Selana. And now, recently, you also created your own VC, Founder Fuel. You also went to Miami, a place that's very dear to my heart. I would really like to talk today a little bit more about you and where you're coming from and where you're heading to.
Thanks for having us. Definitely pretty cool.
Happy to be here.
Nice to be in the Lab Nest. Yeah, back again in the Lab Nest.
Exactly.
Cool place.
Last time you were here, we did the barbecue.
Yeah.
And padel, what we're not going to talk about.
Yeah.
But anyways, but I'm curious. So you're also still both students.
Yeah.
I mean, it's quite an interesting mix. And die-hard entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
So
I think entrepreneurs first, even, because, we've been pushing back this whole study thing for a while now.
A lot of delays.
We're going to finish
some years
very soon.
Because as a student, you started Bondi Bikes together.
Mm-hmm.
That's also how you know each other.
Mm.
Yeah. We met each other the first day of our introduction day at the university. We actually both, because we had a party day before, so we both ended up in the wrong introduction groups. And we ended up in the same wrong group. And then that's where we met each other, because I was eating some Chinese food, and I couldn't finish it because it was too much, and I was like, who wants it? And then Max was like, me. And then we started chatting with each other, and then that's how it happened. So since then, day one, we went together. Yeah.
You're on...
Yeah.
Unbreakable.
Yeah,
exactly.
We started hosting parties together and everything, and then we kind of, saw that we worked quite well together.
There it goes. Because you both, you're not from the Netherlands, or you both went to the Netherlands to study here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
At the HAN, Hogeschool van Arnhem en Nijmegen.
Yeah.
And you studied business.
International business, yeah. So we don't have any skills, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that we both started a different study, and then we dropped out of that, and then we both started at the HAN. So it was kind of we both just dropped out, started something new, and we're really enthusiastic about business. So yeah, it was a perfect combo, basically.
And then Bondi Bikes came along.
Yeah. Because we always had a really trashy bikes during our study years. You had no brakes on your bike. I had a really squeaky, a horrible bike. And we were we need to change something about it. And I think also we really saw that Netherlands is really good with the whole mobility infrastructure. Everyone is biking here, and you don't really need a car to live. And I think completely opposite in our countries. Mm-hmm. So we thought I think this is really future, where cities really don't need the cars to be in there. And that's how we started with the Bondi Bikes. We had a small pilot in Arnhem as well, and then from there we got an investment. And then we launched across 8 cities in the Netherlands with our shared electric bikes that you can unlock through the app, and then the pay per minute. So pretty simple business. Yeah, because we came up with the idea back in 2019, and it was still the market was still just starting out, but it just took us time to learn how to do business. So we went just to YouTube, and we started watching videos how to start a business, how to do financial prognosis and stuff like that. So we just started learning bit by bit. And that's basically how we started.
So actually you learned it yourself on YouTube and in the making, not so much at school maybe. It was a nice vehicle to get there.
Yeah. As soon as the business idea started, we skipped a lot of classes, to be honest, because this was something we really cared about.
Yeah. And how is that? Because that's the thing, when you get your own company, it takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of investment from yourself. How was then the studies on the side?
Yeah, it was definitely on the side. It was quite difficult to combine it. I think we got lucky because it was just when Corona was starting. Mm-hmm. So we didn't actually have to be present in the classes and so on. Everything was online. So it was a perfect opportunity for us to move to The Hague, which was going to be our first pilot city. Because the government allowed us to kind of put the bikes there. So we could kind of combine it, do the classes during the day, and then kind of talk to investors and get everything sorted with the supply chain. In the afternoons and so on. So it was possible, but it's also kind of weird because we had sometimes interns working for us, but we're also taking our classes at the same time. Whilst building up the company.
And we put all our money in the business as well, because in our dream, because we were working part time, a dishwasher and a waiter.
It will come later.
And we put all our money into the business because we really believed in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the way to go,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's side hustles by night and during the day investment in your company.
Yeah.
And how, I mean, of course, a few years ago, you had the bigger companies, which also in the mobility, who also did like the bikes and maybe the cars. And you as newbies were coming along. Everybody knew you as the Bondi Boys from the Bondi Bikes. I don't know how that name stick to it, but I still also have you in my phone as that. How was that battle? Like getting into that world with those big competitors?
It was tough as well. I mean, because there's like massive companies with like so much funding, and then they're launching in all these different cities. But I think, especially because we're a bit different, we're like the underdogs at that point, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're the young guys who are just trying to have some fun. And then even on these like government meetings, the other people come in like suits, they're like really serious, but we're just like kind of keeping it a little bit lighthearted and having fun with it. So I think that made it more memorable, and people were kind of supporting us as well, even from all sides. So that kind of also drove us to kind of like really want to do it as well, because we had so much support from all these different people. And also, to be honest, for the market, I mean, we were the first like e-bike, like free floating sharing company in the Netherlands, so we were still quite early to the game. So we still had that competitive edge as well. So yeah.
And is that making marketing is also on all your socials? You really see that you're having fun. I think it's also part of your marketing. You're even, I didn't say at the beginning, but you're also movie directors in a way. That every time you create like a show around it. Does that work or?
Yeah, definitely. Because that was also like when we started the business, we wanted to kind of like document the journey online.
Oh, yeah.
So we just started posting, like if we met some people for the business, or like we went to some event, we would always post that, like just our thoughts in general, like how's it going, and we would always be transparent about how we're doing and where we were heading. So that's where it started as well. We started posting and stuff, and then we also saw that like when you go to LinkedIn, it's just like the content there is like, it's like, oh, I got a new job, or like like some random stuff. So we wanted to spice it up a bit, so we just started like making like funny videos. And I think it's really like grew from there. The budget definitely increased as well. And once again, we're not even like, if you watch our videos, we're not trying to sell anything. It's just more we're having fun, and just and that's also how people know us as well, because we're just the funny guys, to be honest. And we just take things chill. Yeah.
And I mean, why work on something and not have fun with it, right? Like it
makes it more easier. Yeah,
exactly. And like people are always so negative about everything, but if you just see it in a lighthearted way, you're positive about it, you can get much further. And it also helps even just for getting more people into the team, because they see this online, what we're doing, and they see it's like kind of fun company, and everybody they talk to who's worked with us, they're always like really happy and like had a good time. That just gets more and more people who are really talented to want to join us, basically.
So it's actually a good HR tool for us as well. Yeah.
Exactly, because I also think you're very open what you're doing, also sharing it with others. I mean, that's maybe also the reason I think a lot of founders are also attracted to you, to get to know each other and see like, hey, how did you do it? Because you give great tips. And that's the way you also maybe started a group app called Founder Fuel. How did that start? Did it come from university?
Yeah, a little bit as well, because even in uni we were like always making these parties to get like international students to get to know each other. So we've always had this kind of like community building and like organizing events to get everyone there. And then what we saw, so we would always, when we were like starting a company, meet with different founders and investors just to kind of like learn about their perspective, learn like what they've been through, because we can always apply that for ourselves. And then we saw other Dutch founders aren't really doing this. So it started off, I think the first time in our apartment, we just had like a little party for founders and investors, and everybody was really happy. They were like, I met so many interesting people, and we weren't like pitching each other. It was just a casual chat, but that even led to business later on. And then slowly but surely we kind of professionalized that. Like now we're doing like one event a month basically, and always afterwards we get messages like, hi, I met like a really great investor, it's going really good, or like I just had a lot of fun. So it's really paying off, and I think it's really good for the whole Dutch ecosystem as well. Yeah,
I think that, I mean, nowadays you're mentioning LinkedIn, but it's hard to just tag other founders and ask like, hey, how did you do this? Or I'm looking for a nice AI assistant, where can I find it? And also in that group chat, I see a lot of those questions that I have myself as well. So how did like a group chat of founders and also investors are also in the chat,
Yeah.
Came to the next step, your own VC?
Yeah, because we've been organizing these events for the founders and investors for like past couple of years now, and what we noticed, besides the like the good connections that people get, actually several founders got investments through the meetings, because then like investors and founders really can meet each other in real life and like really see that they're human.
Yeah.
So we also thought like, and we looked at the Dutch ecosystem. There's not that many funds for the early stage. So if you're early stage, we had the same issue. If you're early stage, there's like nobody there to invest in you, unless you're like a B2B SaaS. But like it's not everyone is that. So that's why we started a fund, because we have a lot of connections within the industry, and we always talk to founders, especially like the early stage ones, and that's why we thought let's just start a fund, and we copied the model that they do in US. That's also partially the reason why we were in US like last month, because we want to really learn how they do it there. Because like it's more open, it's more like go getters and stuff like that. So like for example with our fund, we don't want any equity right away. So it's more like either like a convertible loan or like SAFE, which is like pretty much not really heard of in the Netherlands, because in the Netherlands the investors are like, they're pretty like, I just want like my 40% of the company or whatever, like terrible terms and like just equity like right away in early stage, like come on. So that's why we also started it, and we already have like at least $1 million committed now, and even though we announced the fund like a month ago, so it's already pretty good. So we'll just try to get more money in and really try to get the first investments out as soon as possible.
Yeah, super exciting. And because you're also saying, as you're both are international, it's kind of a struggle as an international to find that funding. Why is that, and does it now work in your VC?
Yeah, I think it's just difficult in general for early stage companies, but we wanted to kind of bring that international aspect in it as well, because if you're coming from a different country, you've seen different startups, you've seen a completely different market, so then you're also looking at the Netherlands in a completely different way. So we believe that this can be like a really good twist on starting a startup. And like again, they're just starting in a new country, they don't know anybody, so they're really ready to kind of like hustle on their startup. And we're not only going to invest in international founders, it's just like that's more what we look at. But if there's a good opportunity with some Dutch founders, we're more than happy to also invest.
Yeah. And how many startups do you invest in?
We're aiming to do about 30 in the next year.
Yeah,
so
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We really want to get it out, like really kind of make it like the American ecosystem where there's just all this enthusiasm. In its early stage, like let's not have the whole valuation talk. If we believe in the founders, we're ready to go, and we believe in the idea, it's a big enough market. Let's just do it and figure out the rest later. All startups end up pivoting into something else, or they merge with another company and so on. So at this stage, you just want to focus completely on building, figuring out what's next. And we just didn't see that, unfortunately, in the Netherlands, and that's really what we want to change. And that with 30 investments, we think we can really have an impact, and then this is just a start. The next fund can be even more, basically.
No, I mean, that's also what we see with Labcast, is especially those very early stage. And how do you help them in, let's say, operation, for instance? Because VCs, as you also went to Miami, I went to Silicon Valley to also experience this. Like some VCs are very hands-on and even changing the co-founders, like and really altering in operations. And some are more general and saying like, hey, here is money, go ahead. What kind of position are you taking?
Well, in early stage, it all depends on the founders. So it's just like, it's not the idea or the market, it's just the founders, if they're going to actually go through it and give it all. And they're always open to learn all the time. So we just believe in founders, and we just want to give them the tools. That's why we don't want them to worry about like all this like legal terms and like the contracts and stuff. Here's the money, just go for it, and kind of like, and if you need some help, that's also where the community kicks in, because like, we have a lot of connections. Like if you need some help with something, we always can connect you with the right founder or investors or anything. So like, it's all there. So in general, just like the whole Founder Fuel initiative is more to improve the Netherlands actually and get it to the next level, because we really hate hearing like local founders saying like, oh, like I need to go to US, like that's where the real stuff is. But like, I think it can happen here in the Netherlands. And we have some big plans as well, especially like also for the next year. I think I'll just say it as well, because we saw like we were in Miami, and we went on the Miami Tech Week, and like the event is opening by like some big founders and like the mayor of Miami, and then like whole week they have like some events with like a lot of people. So next year we're gonna do Amsterdam Tech Week. So we're gonna do the biggest tech event in Netherlands next year. So
Nice.
that's the plan.
Very for the early stage, because that's what we're missing. There are some events, let's say the next web, for instance, but they're all further along.
Yeah,
Right.
and I think it should be really tailored to founders, because like otherwise you just have like random people like trying to sell you something on these events, and that's
Yeah.
also what we appreciate when it's like you go to an event and you really get value from it, and like nobody's trying to sell you anything.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
also like another focus with Founder Fuel. That's why it's always really curated community. So yeah, invite only and stuff like that. Yeah.
Super nice. And that you are doing that as students. I mean, what's happening in the Netherlands? That's great, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's not worse than the US, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But with all these things, we have teams for everything. So we have a team for the Bondi, we have a team for Selana, we have a team for Founder Fuel as well. So it's just like really dedicated people who really believe in the vision.
Yeah.
And we are there as a pretty face, of course. But we really have good people around us.
And where are those teams coming from? Are you also scouting them, or you're attracting them, or?
Yeah, LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Once again, I think it's going back to the whole videos and like everything we post. People just see it and they really get inspired and they really want to like be part of the journey.
Yeah.
Because they know it's really gonna get them somewhere.
Yeah, but it's kind of important because you're building something, well, as the two of you at the beginning, and now you're setting a team around it. They have to believe in your values, which they do, but at the same time, you're giving them a certain perspective for the future. How are you keeping them excited and alive?
I think they just see what the opportunities are, right? Like if some of the people in the Founder Fuel team, they're just joining as like early students, and now they get to talk to like all the top founders and investors in the Netherlands. That's really great, and maybe they'll find a job through that, or they get inspired, or have a new idea. Maybe they want to start their own startup.
Yeah.
So that's where the value comes in for them. And again, we help them out. We kind of guide them through it, and they're learning a lot on the way, just by taking part, basically.
Super. And that's all from the Hague? Is your headquarter, or
All around the Netherlands.
Yeah.
We get messages from everywhere, to be honest. Even like outside of the Netherlands, people want to really join us and things like that. So it's really nice. But
Super
I guess.
nice.
But it's not even.
So call Bondi Boys and you can
Please
go in.
But all we do is just like we're saying things that make sense. Like we just need to get Netherlands to the next level. Let's just do it,
Yeah,
And,
but it's something you're experiencing. So it's like because I believe the best ideas really come from the heart in some way, or something that you've experienced. And I think that like being here and not having those handouts and experience yourself, I think that's very valuable.
Yeah, definitely. And that's why we're driving it forwards, because we've had that pain, and to be honest, we just have fun with it as well. So it's
But it's like, so how are you combining those businesses? Let's say Bondi Bikes, and now I also saw a super app, which is great, because now you can see multiple other mobility companies together in one app.
Yeah. Combining it, again, a bit like Chinga said, is all about having just a good team of people who are working on it. Yeah. So we just have a good split between that. We do everything in the office together, and then we just make sure we have the right people kind of leading that.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the Bondi Super App, I think this is really cool, because from the operations, we already had like 100,000 users. But yeah, since after 2 years of running the operations with the Bondi bikes and going to 8 cities everywhere, we saw it's quite low margin business, and like very high operational cost. So at some point we decided that we're going to kind of stop with that part of it.
Yeah, plus the licenses in the cities in the Netherlands are like not really best. Because like usually for example, like in The Hague you have like how many people, like a lot of thousands of thousands, but you can only like place like 500 vehicles, which is like definitely not enough to cover it. Because like if you have the same size city like in France or Germany, you can put like at least 1,000 vehicles. So like already this is like already not making sense.
Yeah.
So we decided more focus on the app stuff as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also like even
This is software again, right? That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, hardware is the bike. That's kind of hard, but the software is the most value.
Yeah, true. But we're still doing the hardware with the Selana. So like the different brand from Bondi. We already produced when we manufactured like a small electric vehicles. So we manufactured 1,000 vehicles last year. And then this year we plan to manufacture 7,000, I think. Yeah. So So we still love hardware. We're still in it. Still love visiting our factory and stuff like that. It's pretty nice.
And are you using those vehicles within Bondi, or are there two different brands?
We decided to kind of separate it completely, because again yeah, with manufacturing, the margins are much bigger, and that's the focus. Of course, hardware has so many issues on itself.
Yeah.
But yeah, the software is then completely software focused now as well. So we don't have any operations in that side. But yeah, that's why now we're trying to figure out what's the biggest next step, because we wanted to kind of make like a real super app in the Netherlands. We believe Europe needs something like this as well, because in Asia it's really big already. And yeah, we're thinking like nowadays, you know, people are more staying inside or on TikTok all the time, getting less and less connected. We wanted to make something where people get out more, get to meet people, combine it with other things, see what their friends are doing and everything. So with the core being mobility, because you always need to get around in the city. It's always going to be a part of life, right? But then, so now we have the activities through the Bash app. And then we're just thinking what other integrations we can have there.
Exciting. So I'm curious, where are you going to be in a year? Where are you looking forward to with all these different businesses?
Yeah, well, in a year, definitely with Founder Fuel, all 30 investments made, promoting the Dutch ecosystem, really helping out. Hopefully they're all like growing nicely, but we have to see how that goes. And then, with the Bondi app, a lot of different features, recurring users who really like to use it, and that we really see that we're bringing a lot of value.
And some potential acquisitions also, maybe.
Yeah, coming up.
Yeah, coming up.
And then Selana, the manufacturing all the vehicles, not many returns, getting everything nice and sorted.
No issues, I hope,
Yeah.
Well, I remember the first time I talked to you that you were actually fishing the bikes out of the canals. So, I mean, looking back from then and where you are now.
Well, there's still a lot of bikes in the canals.
We're still fishing, okay.
Yeah.
We still need to get them at some point.
It's warmer weather now, so we'll go out with the magnet on the rope and we'll fish the last few bikes out. I think there's about 7 that we still need to pick up.
But I think that's a good thing. I mean, you're both hands-on in the business as having the helicopter view in a way, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we have to be, right? Like, we need to know what's going on and,
But because people tell us, like, you guys are doing everything, but we just have 3 things to do, to be honest. And once again, it's like we have good teams to manage all of it.
Yeah.
So.
And they're all related as well.
Exactly.
In a way, like, so it's,
exactly. I think it's the Bondi Boy world, in a way. So, looking back at Miami, because you went there for a reason, as you were saying with the tech, did you see anything besides that kind of week that you think like, wow, the US is very stepping forward in this and I'm inspired by it, taking it back home, or are they behind?
I think literally the first event we came to in the US, just some guy was standing there, so we came up like, oh, what are you doing? It's like, I have this like a robotics company, I raised 20 million, and like that's like the first guy.
Oh yeah.
And like the rest were like same kind of level, like this, and this is what you get like in US. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, but is it that they are investing faster or having more money to invest or more easy?
I think the money. I think Netherlands has money. I think people here have money. It's more what do you do with it.
Yeah.
People here like to save money. Tiki app is famous here. I don't think they care about that stuff in the US. It's more just do it. Try things and fail.
Yeah.
Which is not unheard of here, unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're right. You mean splitting it the Dutch way, because we're kind of greedy, right?
No, but
reserved, we'll call it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's a good finding. That's something you really see when you're coming here as well. Yeah. Anything else? Because you're wearing something on your head as well.
The glasses, This is the Meta glasses from with Ray-Ban, and it's like they have an AI in there as well, and you can just ask any questions, so you take pictures and stuff like that. And works only in US, by the way, so it's pretty weird, but it's pretty cool. So all this kind of tech we seen, and like we went to the rocket launch as well from SpaceX.
Yeah.
Like these kind of things like in daily life, and people treat it like normal stuff, But it would be cool to see like more of these kind of things here. I don't know, they have the spirit, like even
everything is possible.
Everything is possible.
Yeah.
And I think the most American moment was we went to rodeo, and like where they have like the bulls and stuff like that. You have to like catch it with like a thingy.
Yeah.
And in the end of the show, they had like girls on horses with like big American flags, and says like American like anthem is playing, and people like really pumped. They're like, yeah.
Yeah, they're proud of their nation.
Yeah, and I think definitely Netherlands can be, if not that, but better, to be honest. And I think it will be cool.
Yeah, I think, if I sense a little bit, I think I have the same value, like getting the Netherlands out there in the best way a startup can be, but also helping those people, not only wanting to get there, but also finding ways to get them there. And that's important.
That's what you're doing with Labnest as well, isn't it? Just when you help the founders out there.
I mean, that's always when I like to have you around. Similar values in those ways.
Yeah, I think it's definitely possible within the next 10 years, I think.
Yeah, but a lot needs to be done.
Yeah.
And what kind of ideas are you seeing popping up? I mean, I always say we're focusing on innovation and impact in a big sense. Are you really focused only on mobility, or also in the VC on broader themes?
Just everything. So we're sector agnostic, basically.
Okay.
We're, as long as it's contributing in a positive way. Like it shouldn't just be something that has like negative impact, of course. But we're ready, especially at this stage. It's early, so we're ready to go into any sector. And then now we're seeing everything. A lot of AI stuff, of course. Different things in sustainability or even food. It's completely varied, but I think it's also interesting because for us, then we get to really see what's going on in the market and what's new. There's so many opportunities, so many people working on really cool things, and we just want to be able to like help that out.
Sometimes hard to choose. And how are you finding, because your network is already quite big in the Netherlands, but if you're having new startups with new ideas, are you really scouting other partners to help them in that certain specialty, or how are you?
I think it's also kind of like the secret sauce of how we do it, because our team even goes to like this like small events at like university, like demo days and things like that, and you will never meet any investor there, but like that's where you meet like all this like hidden diamonds, hidden founders, because like if you see somebody just like really passionate about the project, because I think it just reminds us of us, because that's how we started at uni. We were really passionate, but like there was nobody to support it. I think just finding those people, really digging through the dirt, and I think that can really work.
I think so too. I mean, and that's still what I kind of think it's a loss, as you're also saying. We are still students actually, but are just going into the real life and practicing it in reality. But sometimes at school it's too schoolish, and you need the real world to show you how it's done, right?
Yeah. No, definitely.
So all the teachers should be changed by founders.
That'd be an interesting world then, I think. But yeah. No, I think people need to be given the opportunity, right? Like if there's a lot of people who have good ideas, but then either they have the negativity or the worry about failing and all this. But if they would have the capital and then they can get the team together and people believe in them, then they can really make it happen. Or at least they have an amazing chance to give it a go. And then usually that can lead to, like, I don't know, the employees going to another company, building something else. And again, back to the US thing, that's the whole mentality, right? If you fail, it's not a bad thing. You've learned something that you can put into the next company or next opportunity.
And if you look back at the younger year one Zingistan in year one Max, what would you tell yourself when you just started studying here? Would you done any different, or would you riding along?
We sometimes ask this question. It's always the same answer, isn't it?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, like, we wouldn't have learnt everything, right? If we would know exactly what to do up front, of course you can hear it, but you actually have to experience it to learn from it. So I think anything we say, then we would just go different.
I think it's good. It's good that we had all this crap, because like so many times we were ready to give up, to be honest. Because like we would like pitch on the competition and we would lose, or like investor says no and stuff like that. It's like so many times, but like just gotta keep going.
But would you have chosen the Bondi bikes as a topic, or was it actually your vehicle to get where you're right now?
Yeah,
but I think it's both in a way. Because
Definitely.
without having the Bondi bikes, we wouldn't be here as well. Like I think it really helped us excel our experience, but also the brand and everything like that. And we did help a lot of people. We had a lot of users actually coming to the office. I remember like a mom brought her kid and like some chocolates to us, and she's like, thank you, like I'm a nurse and I use your service every day to go to work. Like this kind of stuff, like this is like it's nice.
Then you know why you're waking up every day.
Exactly.
Right? Things like that. Oh, amazing. Do you have any questions you want to get out there, or questions for possible watchers that you want to bring along about the VC?
If you're a startup looking for funding, please reach out. We're more than happy to look at it.
And if you're an investor wanting to buy another real estate property, don't do that. Just give us the money.
let's
Yeah.
close by that. No, but I mean, thank you. I mean, these are already a lot of interesting findings, and I think that founders are struggling with this, but you just have to do and experience, right?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, thank you.